Thank you.
Thank you. Rosie Belton, welcome.
So I'm just going to turn that around so I don't look at this. Hello everyone. I'm speaking in support of the proposed capital grant for the Arts Centre. The Christchurch Arts Centre buildings have featured in my life for more than 50 years. First in the late 60s as the Canterbury University site, which I attended as an undergraduate student and later as an arts tenant at what had become the Arts Centre from the early 1980s through to 2009. I now, along with other Christchurch residents and visitors to the region, am a frequent user of the Arts Centre site as a diner, shopper, concert goer and film viewer, as well as just an ambler enjoying the beauty of the site. This group of magnificent Victorian Gothic buildings are a treasure for us all, in Christchurch and Canterbury residents and visitors from all parts of New Zealand and other parts of the world when that starts happening again. I urge you, our Mayor and Deputy Mayor and councillors, to not only action this one-off grant of 5.5 million, which will enable 2 more spaces to be completed and therefore tenanted, helping the Arts Centre to bring in more funds, but also to look at ongoing annual funding to top up the running costs of this heritage gem of an asset to our city. The Arts Centre buildings and precincts survived the earthquakes of 2010, 2011 and have re-emerged over the past 10 years due to dedicated restoration to a majority of the buildings on site, most of it funded by Arts Centre insurance settlements. We, the people of Christchurch, are fortunate recipients indeed of these beautiful buildings for our use through cultural, commercial tenancies and recreational activities. In the past, the Christchurch City Council did give annual financial support to the running costs of this site. Some years ago this diminished and then disappeared altogether. Now I understood that when the building was not being used during the time that it was being restored after the earthquakes. But it's now back up and running and the CCC should be there to help support the ongoing running costs of these heritage buildings, in my opinion. There should never be anxiety about the financial viability of running this site for those who have the task of managing it. It's always a fine balance for people managing budgets for the running of such buildings between keeping rentals fair, keeping buildings maintained, and being able to cover the high insurances that are demanded for these heritage buildings. There should and must be not only the payment of this one-off grant, but an ongoing reasonable support which would demonstrate the commitment to and gratitude for such a gem in the heart of the city. We must get the balance right about what public money is spent on in our city for future generations who have the right to enjoy these buildings and tenancies they house. My view is the Arts Centre should be seen as a shining example of what is good for people of our city and benefits it brings to we the ratepayers should be in a small part supporting it.
Thank you very much, and again, perfect timing, covering off obviously this most significant part of your submission, which we've read, and thank you very much for coming and speaking for the Arts Centre.
Thank you.
Phil Foreman.